Hello there, everybody. How are you all doing today? Welcome back to more E3 2005. Megan and I about to check out the show floor. Found presumably 2 videos to do for this.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, there seems like I did like have a peek along the track bar just to see, and it seems like we're kind of getting to the point of like E3 being like the show floor stuff being mostly like an interview kind of thing, which is fine. But yeah, I am gonna miss like the walking around the show floor with like just a dude with a VHS camera, right? Um, so I guess we'll just
Yeah.
hop on this one. So we're still gonna do 2 times speed. If we see anything like interesting that we maybe want to hear or something, maybe we'll go back to 1 times, go back to normal speed. But I
Yeah.
think keeping it 2 times speed is fine. So this is uploaded by Neo Gamer, the video game archive, who we've seen before, I believe.
I think so.
So thank you to him. We'll keep it at normal here just because I think they speed through this. All right, Megan, are you ready?
I am ready.
So you're gonna have to play with audio for a bit. Then all the lights come on, and everybody piles in. Let's go. I got zombies walking about.
That's a lot of congas.
That is a lot of congas.
Also, I totally forgot about that stylus that has the little Mario in his cart on the top.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that, I don't think. Oh, the movies. Wow, did they talk about the movies this year? Man. That's a game that's... Well, shoot, if that was talked about this year, I might need to find another Peter Molyneux interview. I'm not really too sure. I could have swore that was at a, like, during one of the conferences. Maybe that wasn't. Maybe I just, because I remember kind of keeping up on the movies a bit. And,
yeah, I don't remember seeing it, so.
See, I think it'd be fun for you to play it at some point, because I think it's actually a pretty interesting game. Not quite what Peter Molyneux promised, mind you, but, you know, when is it? Because it's a game about, because we'll probably see an interview here even, but it's a game about, like, running your own movie studio from, like, the 1920s up to modern day, right?
Okay.
But it's really interesting, because you do get, like, to film movies, essentially, and, you can watch them, right? You can even customize it so you can like make your own. It's actually pretty intriguing. But I know Peter Molyneux's whole thing was he was like, we don't like UI, so the game is kind of like UI free to an extent. It's more of a like you go here, you push a button, and then the UI will kind of pop up, and then you can like select stuff. But his whole thing was like, we want to make it like a clean thing. We don't want all the UI everywhere that you mostly see in these tycoon games. Which
Okay.
you know, was okay. It's a choice. You know, so it's, you know, neither good nor bad. It's just, you know, preferences really. I think it's okay. But now Peter Molyneux made you know, made reference. He basically made comments like, "I know you can go in here and you can like design your own movie, and we'll host these like movie awards for people that make movies in game, give out like trophies and stuff." I think they actually did do like award stuff for a little while, but a lot of the movies you could make in the game were like very basic, of course, because you only have so many sets that you can do, and you have so many animations that you can have your characters do on those sets, right?
Yeah.
So it's very like basic. It's not great, but I actually have an idea for what I want to do for if I do like a stream of the game or something. Like I have ideas for if I ever do anything with the movies, because like I know they had this thing where you could like edit stuff. Like it has its own little built-in editor for like your movies and everything. It's interesting. right? I actually do like the game for what it is. I do think it's enjoyable, but I mostly like the tycoon aspect. I don't even like doing the movie stuff. In fact, I'd even say like making your own movies when you're trying to play the game proper is probably detrimental because like your dudes have to like go around to each set and like film.
Mm,
So like
yeah.
if you have the game write the movie for you, like with your writer room, which you can build in the game, then they usually do like however many amount of scenes is really necessary, right, to get like a good movie. And then they do that, your dudes film, and then it's over. But if you do it yourself, you could, in theory, have too many scenes, and then your dudes are walking around for like a couple of years trying to get this
Oh.
movie finished. And it's like, oh, but in the meantime, they're hogging the sets for like other movies that maybe you want to make, right? And you can only have like so many crew. It's crazy. So I play the game in what would be the best and probably most boring way, and that is you just get a bunch of writers and you just write the movie for you, and then you just have your dudes film it. Right. But it's fun because I always liked having a studio and then going like, yeah, it's the award ceremony. I'm gonna beat you, whatever your Lionhead studio. I'm gonna beat you, right? I always thought that aspect of it was fun.
That is pretty funny. I do like the idea that even films can go through scope creep and just like never finish.
Yeah, right. But yeah, fun game. Yo, it's StarCraft Ghost.
Again.
Again. See, StarCraft Ghost is kind of like the Cameo of like. It's kind of like the inverse Cameo, right? Well, we've seen Cameo for years, but it eventually came out, and it was okay. StarCraft Ghost, we've now been seeing at least a couple years in a row, and we know that one's not coming out, right? Yeah, like the third year, and we know this one isn't coming out. Like we know that one, it's never happening, which is a shame.
I do wonder how long it's gonna be shown. Like, will it be shown next year too? I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2. Radius Stories?
Data Stories.
Yo, FMA 2, I guess. Is that one? That one I don't recall.
Oh, that's the Musashi game?
I think
Final Fantasy Snowboarding.
Final Fantasy 7 Snowboarding. I do remember that. Did that come out?
I don't know. I'd never heard of that. That's interesting.
I think, because you know how they have the snowboarding minigame in Final Fantasy 7, right? I think it was based off that.
Okay.
Snowboarding. Let me see. Yeah, it was a mobile game.
Has
the same graphics from like the PS2 version. And yeah, it's just you like snowboarding, essentially. Alright, moving on. Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist 2, Curse of the Crimson Elixir. Megan, we should play these games. I know they're awful. But
I've heard they're awful, and like I've seen them at our local video game store a few times. I think they go for about $40, so they're not like super expensive.
They're more than what you
I've been tempted. Well, they're more than I would want to pay because I know they're bad. But maybe I'll do it eventually, and it'd be kind of fun to go through them.
I think it'd be funny at the very least.
That's true. It'd be funny. It wouldn't be fun.
Yo, Shaolin Monks.
Yo, oh, PS3. The PS3.
Oh my god, there it is.
They had it here?
I guess they had it here. I guess maybe, I don't know. I guess they had it actually designed and they put it out. That's weird that they're showing it though. Because maybe the controllers we saw on the desk of like Insomniac or whatever, maybe those are actually like PS2 controllers. Maybe I mean,
it's possible. I just don't remember seeing the cord there. So that's why I was thinking it was a DualShock, and it looked a little different than a PS2 controller, but maybe it was a PS2 controller.
Well, see, what's really weird is, like, now I'm kind of wondering, because why are they showing it here if this wasn't, like, part of the plan? Like, for realsies, you know?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Huh.
If anyone knows more about that, please let us know in the comments.
Yeah, please do. You know what I also just noticed? The buttons are a bit more kind of like see-through, aren't they?
They are.
They're kind of like what, because you know how Xbox had, like, the black and white buttons?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it reminds me of, right? Because it doesn't look like they have the symbol on them either. Maybe they were just meant to be, like, colors?
I
Maybe
think there is a symbol because I think I could see on the square button there is a little bit, but it's just not super good quality. It's a little hard to see.
maybe. I don't know, Megan. I'm just seeing color. I don't know. Like it could be, huh?
It might be hard to see from this angle. You probably have to look at it directly above.
I mean, maybe. Man, that's weird though. That's so weird how they have it here. Sly 3.
Sly 3. It was okay. Although a lot of people really like Sly 3. It's personally my least favorite in the series, but it's not a bad game.
One day I'll play through this.
Ratchet Deadlocked.
Ratchet
That
Deadlocked.
game is so much fun. We can actually play the game like full co-op.
And maybe we will. That might be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Contents Under Pressure. Which one's that? Which one's that?
That's
a game I recognize.
I don't remember what that is. Like Mark Echoes getting up contents under pressure or something?
Up. Oh my god, I remember this. Which game is that? Is that a sports game?
I think it's on Steam.
Mark. I mean, you can look it up on Steam if you want. I'm gonna Google it. Mark Echoes. Getting up contents under pressure. Oh, that's the spray paint game, I think.
Yeah. It's a parkour spray paint game.
Yeah, I guess this would have been like probably trying to fill the niche of Jet Set Radio, except without the skating.
Yeah, I could have sworn that I bought this game on Steam, but I guess I never did because I don't have it.
See, the game seemed to do pretty, like okay. Right? I remember playing it though. I remember playing it because I remember I used to. So I too had a phase at one point where I was like, like yo, spray paint and shit. Like that's pretty cool. I never did it myself, but I always thought graffiti was kind of neat, right? Around this time.
Yeah, graffiti is neat.
So I was like, damn, maybe I should get into graffiti. I never did, obviously, but I remember going like, damn, that's cool. That's cool stuff, man. It's so in. And yeah, I don't know. It just that was the thing. I went through phases of finding certain things cool. I used to find motorbikes actually really cool. Yeah. I used to go like, oh man, I want to get a Harley Davidson like when I'm older, because motorbikes are kick ass. And I never went through with that because I then kind of just thought, yeah, I don't really, I don't really care for motorbikes anymore, right? But I used to think they were the hot shit like back when I was younger. Yo, dude, chillin'.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe we will just watch this at 1 times speed. Because to be fair, it's like an hour and
yeah.
I don't know, I'm enjoying this enough. Maybe if people start talking and I'm like, I don't care about the talking, maybe then I'll speed through it. But
yeah, like if it starts dragging, then yeah, we can speed it up. But I think if it's good, might as well watch it 1 time speed.
Yeah, right. Bum, bum, bum. It's very generic like music. It's easy to go. It's easy to go along with, right? That's something about generic music. Oh, look at the Rockstar like trailers, dude.
Yeah, I like how they put all the games like in trailers. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, like because I saw Liberty City Stories. I think I saw. Maybe that's all Liberty City Stories actually.
I don't think it's all Liberty City Stories. I'm just not sure what they would be.
See, I see one that looks like it says like the horror, and I don't think like Manhunt, but I don't know if Manhunt. I don't know if or the Warriors.
The Warrior?
The Warriors. Oh, I love the Warriors. I forgot Rockstar did the Warriors. One of my favorite movie to game crossovers. One of my favorites. So good. I really want to show Megan the Warriors. See, this is gonna be another thing that I want to show Megan eventually. Where maybe in the future you guys will see me go like, oh, I showed Megan the Warriors, and then hear her thoughts. Because I love the Warriors. I love the movie. I love the movie a lot, actually. What was I talking about before this? I was talking about something before I got distracted.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Shoot, what was it? What was I talking about? Hold on. If I go back, like, will I be reminded by something?
What? Last thing I remember is we were just talking about like watching the video 1 time or 2 times speed, and then we saw the Rockstar boost. but I don't think you said anything else. At least I don't recall.
I don't know. I felt like I had like something I wanted to talk about, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Oh, Bully. I see Bully as well.
This is the Zelda world. Check it
Yeah.
out. This is the forest.
And then we've got the dungeon.
That's a very interesting
Light show here. You
thing
can
for
actually round these fish
Zelda,
up
I guess.
and collect
Yeah.
them. Can you see that? That's just insane.
Oh, they're trying to kill the fish.
Apparently.
Too cool, man. Let's go on. Let's head on.
That's neat, though.
I'll tell you something.
That is cool.
What do we got here? Oh, man.
Oh, that's neat.
Oh.
Where are we now? What's this?
This is the dungeon.
This is the dungeon. Check
This
it
is
out, guys.
interesting,
We've
but
all
it's so
played the
weird for an
levels of
E3
Zelda.
conference.
4 all up, so 2 in here, 2 in the other room.
So I reckon we should just chill here for a bit. So what's happening, man?
Man, Zelda, it's like our biggest game. It's going to be the biggest game of the year, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, we put a lot into this booth because we just feel really, really passionately about it. I mean, we're all gamers at Nintendo, and this is really a gamer's
Man,
game.
this is it, hey?
Yeah, this is it.
I mean, this is pretty cool. This is back when E3 still had Soul.
The graphics just
Yeah.
amazing.
Badass Link, man.
Badass.
It is it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cannot wait for this
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
What's going on here?
One of the new features
Wolf
of the
Link.
game is obviously that Link
Yeah.
can become a wolf.
He can become a wolf. Oh, Wolfie boy.
Oh, and he's got attitude.
Hey, what's up, buddy? What's up? Ooh. Got a bit of bite. Ooh, hey, buddy. Who's your buddy? Who's your buddy? Ooh. Man, that wolf's out to get us, hey.
So whenever Link enters the Twilight Realm, he's basically forced into becoming a wolf.
That's the wolf connection.
It's time
Alright.
to talk about
Kingdom Hearts 2!
It's actually the third game in the series. Felice
Nah,
of Square
even
Enix
back then they were
Yeah.
getting weird with it.
a little bit about how it came to be.
A little bit.
We're going to have a lot of new Disney worlds again. We have Pirates of the Caribbean as one of our worlds that was announced, and the Mulan
That's a
world.
bad
So
one.
Mina's
It's
gonna
not
play
fun.
Mulan, as she did in the movie.
I mean,
Rachel's playing Hades,
fair. I
and
do remember you telling me you didn't like that one.
Joel Osment's playing Sora again.
Yeah.
When's the release
If you know, you know.
date? Winter 2005.
Ah, slimes.
Dragon Quest.
Our next stop
Oh,
on
Dragon
the
Quest
Square
8.
Enix booth tour is Dragon
Squeenix.
Quest 8. It's called Journey of the Cursed King.
This is the first title in the series that we're releasing after the merger with Square Enix. It's a huge cultural phenomenon in Japan. It's an opposite, so it has to come out.
Man,
in
so this is
Japan.
like the first game they released after they merged? Man. Weird.
Well,
I
is
don't-
it the first game or is it the first Dragon Quest game?
I don't know, did she say? I thought she said first game.
Tour is
me see.
Dragon Quest 8. It's called Journey of the Cursed King.
This is the first title in the series that we're releasing.
Oh, first title
after
in the series.
merger
Okay,
with
you're
Square
right.
Enix. It's a huge
Okay, I was gonna say, I didn't think it was
cultural
quite that
phenomenon in Japan. It's an
bad,
opposite,
but-
so it has to come out on a weekend. This title in Japan, when it released, it sold over 3 million copies.
Another hot title is Radiata Stories. Why is Square Enix so excited about this title?
Man, a lot of Square
Title
games.
that's developed by Tri-Ace.
Yeah.
It's the same company who did Star Ocean. It's just got really, really beautiful graphics, and it has like a sense of humor about it. Instead of just hitting things to open them up like boxes, you can like kick it. So you should kick everything that you see, and you can
Hell
find
yeah.
oceans or treasure.
Final stop on the booth tour. It's all about mobile gaming, and we're going to get to see some of Before Crisis actually on a cell phone.
Yeah, this is part of Final Fantasy VII compilation. It's the second one, and it's 6 years before the first Final Fantasy VII. You get to play the Turks, which were the bad guys in the original story. Our company really wants to get into mobile gaming because of the networking capabilities and being able to play against your friends and on the go.
Good job, Square Enix. Oh, the Ghost.
I'm here with Kelly Chen, who's the associate producer for StarCraft Ghost. Kelly is the man to talk
I'm sorry, Kelly Chen. I'm sorry, your game never came out. Ever.
Yeah.
Look at how good it looks, though.
It's
Look
so
at how
sad
good
it never came
looks.
out.
Like, it looks
You
so
wanna know
good.
something about StarCraft Ghost. So,
Yeah.
what is new? What's the bomb? What's going on with Ghost? Give me the scoop. Okay, so StarCraft Ghost, the single player, is centered around the main character named Nova, and she's going to be part of this this Terran Dominion army. We'll also be introducing a multiplayer. What we're showing right now is we're composing mostly of Terran units, but we're definitely looking forward to like putting in Zerg and Protoss units, so that everybody that was like playing the RTS back before will really kind of feel like at home, be that one guy just kicking ass and going through the game. We're going to be putting in like deathmatch, team deathmatch, matches called like Capture the Base, Hunt, Onslaught, and presenting it in a multiplayer.
Interesting. So in multiplayer, you could play like some of the other units.
That's cool.
Wait a minute. How close to done are you guys on this thing? This I'm really curious about.
And what's the status of the game? How close to done are you guys on this thing? We really were focusing on like additional like new content. If it requires us to actually go into the 2006, the first half of that year, in order to deliver a powerful game, that's what we're gonna do.
The ones that
Oh
Poor
no.
man. That's so just that hurts.
Wah, wah, wah. Press F for the chat.
F in the chat.
And it's obviously, it's not the whole list. You haven't seen everything. Motorstorm, which you saw from Evolution Studios, which is the subcontractor, is going to be big. Killzone from Guerrilla, we think that is going to be an absolutely, to use your words, an awesome title. The Namco people are developing very, very hard, and they tend to get the dev kits in Japan first, so they're going to come out with a great game. Square, Namco, Konami. You're going to see sports games, some soccer games, which are just going to be amazing. It's going to be like looking at the World Cup on TV when you see some of those games. The key to it is
That's certainly how it would have
the
felt.
match between cell computing.
Probably, yeah.
What is cell computing? It's like cyber computing. It's in mathematics. It's called floating point.
Boy, I like how even like Sony here is like, yo, let me
You've got
show
to
you a
link
chart
that
and let me
to
tell you
the
about cell
perfect
computing.
Graphics chip. That's the output. That's how it's going to look on the screen. What Kutaragi thinks he's found with PlayStation 3 is that perfect match. It's like the perfect storm, right? And that's what they think they have found. That's why in only 2 months they've been able to produce those demos. They have blown me away. I was very surprised with some of the stuff that you saw on Motorstorm and what was the other one on Killzone. The Ducks is fine.
The Ducks.
It's okay, yeah, it's good for show, but for people to be able to put those things
The
together
Ducks
on
is
Heavenly
fine.
Sword as well is just
I
amazing.
like the
You
Ducks.
probably saw yesterday at the SCEI show, there were computer guys from PC development, Unreal. They had not seen PS3 kits before. They were PC developers. They took them under 2 months to put together something really, really phenomenal. Eventually, you're going to be able to interact PSP with PS3, which is also wireless. That's the exciting part of it. And that was, many people missed that in the announcement, and it was that PS3 and PSP are in fact quite compatible.
Hi, my name is Tony Tomasi. I'm the Vice President of Technical Marketing for NVIDIA. We're here at E3 to talk to you about a number of really exciting things that we're doing. Of course, the thing that's probably foremost in everyone's mind is the PS3. So, of course, we announced the RSX technology with Sony a few days ago in their press conference. It's going to be an amazing technology. Frankly, the combination of the cell processor and the RSX graphics processor.
See, this is so interesting how just like
technology.
This is all they can really talk about
Really is an
for the
amount of
PS3.
graphics computation power that's unheard of. It's
I
orders of magnitude
mean,
more
maybe it's
powerful than anything
really
we've
the
seen
only information
ever
that Sony's
before.
give them in
More
the
than
press
300
kits or
million
anything.
transistors,
I mean,
500
probably.
megabytes
It's just,
of
I don't know,
memory.
man.
It's gonna be a phenomenal
Just I saw this at the
platform.
conference. I don't need to see it here too.
So the demo that you see behind me is actually
Don't bore me here too.
Luna. She's several 100,000 polygons, and we're actually rendering several million polygons per
Jump
second.
scare.
The actual complexity that we're using.
Yeah,
Little bit.
this might be 2 times speed,
Several
worry.
hundred pixel shader instructions per pixel.
Yeah,
That's
I think
more
that's
than
fair.
10 times the complexity of any previous generation demo that we've ever
Until they
done.
stop
You
talking
get
about the
an extra
PS3
called
specs
Quality
anyway.
Rating Luna is comparable to some movies that were done just a couple years ago. Her skin does an accurate model of human skin, including blood maps, surface maps, tone maps, subsurface scattering. Her hair is incredibly realistic and dynamic. There's a very complex physics model behind that. And then you look at her suit. Not only does it have some really interesting speculative properties to it, but as the light shines where the plasma beam goes, you actually get this high dynamic range with this glow behind it.
See, this is much more bearable.
With the technology we bring to bear with the RSX graphics processor. The PS3 is probably going to be the platform of the decade. We're really excited to be participating with Sony in that. We can't wait to see what the developers are going to bring to bear with games coming starting next year. I'm being welcome to E3. I'm the corporate vice president of
Okay, so what does this guy have to say about Microsoft, about Xbox 360?
Publishing for Xbox. Welcome to the first day of E3.
To be fair, I might speed through this too, but
Yeah, we'll see.
The show just started today. This is the introduction of the Xbox 360. We've been obviously getting a lot of publicity since the MTV broadcast. Excited to finally be able to show the world the console and the wireless controllers and the great games here at E3. What's really cool about it, obviously, you've got a beautifully designed product. You have controllers that are perfectly wireless, but I think the coolest thing is that this Christmas holiday here in North America, Europe, Japan, you'll be playing high-definition games that are gorgeous to look at, incredible to listen to. There's probably going to be 25 to 40 games before the end of the calendar year, and I think the next generation has started, and it starts with Xbox 360.
I mean, that's true.
Specifically, we've laid down a series of what we call essentials for a game to meet the criteria that fits Xbox 360. The game has to run at a minimum of 720p, the minimum bar for high definition. The game has to support 5.1 multi-channel sound, the minimum bar for surround sound as we call it today. The game must fill up these 16:9 aspect ratio televisions, these wide screens we're all buying. And for gamers, the game must support anti-aliasing so that the jaggies go away and we get these
The jaggies.
So there's 3 games that I'm really excited about right now. Project Gotham Racing 3.
I don't think I've ever heard like someone in an official capacity to just call them the Jaggies.
I don't think I have either. That's really good.
They bring racing to life in the streets. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, 170 miles an hour through the streets of London, Tokyo, or Rome. Second game I'm most excited about is Perfect Dark Zero. Perfect Dark Zero welcomes Dark to video games. It's the sequel to Perfect Dark.
Makes me so sad that Perfect Dark Zero is the way it is.
Game. As many as 50 people can be playing in a single game experience. We absolutely love the character that is Joanna Dark, and of course the gameplay will be incredibly infectious. Third game, Cameo, also for Rare.
There you go, finally coming out.
Yay!
It will have incredible worlds of vivid color, but most importantly, really, really, really fun gameplay. Cameo is a princess who morphs into different characters. The boys at Rare have done a tremendous job in bringing the Xbox 360 hardware to life.
On Ghost Recon 3, pretty much everything's new. Of course, the biggest thing is that we're going to be a launch title for Xbox 360. And, you know, what that translates to is a hugely forward in graphics, effects, the visuals, the immersion that you're going to have in the game.
The way you can manipulate your characters once you're within Ghost Recon 3 is going to just knock your socks off. We're calling it a revolutionary, cataclysmic shift in military gaming.
We're really happy that we got on board with Xbox 360.
And Full Auto.
Some people might remember.
Oh, I remember Full Auto.
The game developers got from a year ago.
I'm pretty sure.
Extension of this. You get to drive fast.
Yeah, you just have like a car with guns on it.
30 different weapons. Really awesome
That's pretty funny.
that blow up as well as
I think you could have different guns on it too. I don't know if they were pickups or not. And it was like,
What have you
whoa.
been able to do with the software using the new hardware of the Xbox 360 that you wouldn't have been able to do on previous consoles? Oh, this game would absolutely not be possible on current gen. That's because of our physics. We have a really, really sophisticated physics engine. It's our own technology, and it drives everything that happens.
I guess it had a rewind feature. Yo, Oblivion.
Yay! That's pretty cool, actually.
For the past 3 years. Back in 2002, after we finished Morrowind, we decided, you know what, we're going to go big, and we're going to go big early. So we decided Oblivion would be for the next generation consoles. We had a good idea of what the 360 was going to be all about, so we specifically designed the game to take advantage of the next generation hardware. The entire first year was spent on just technology. Technology. One of our major goals for the game was a fully featured forest that's never been seen before in any RPG. And again, it wasn't possible with previous generation technology. So we spent a year working on making just a vast forest full of grass, trees, foliage, rocks. We had programmers go to the geology lab at the University of Maryland to study how soil erodes, how rock erodes, how trees grow. So we basically wrote a program that simulated this erosion so that you could see realistic looking hills, valleys, fields.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
And the game, again,
Yeah.
it's one continuous world, so you can keep going straight out to the horizon. You can get on your horse.
I always really
ride
did
off
like
into
that
the
about
forest,
Oblivion. Like,
and
there is a
just keep
decent amount of
going.
load
There's
screens
no
where you're
loads.
going into
It's
buildings or
awesome.
houses, but in terms
The
of,
game is
like,
extremely pixel
the outer
shader
world,
heavy.
like, outside the
Everything is
towns,
very
yeah, you
enhanced,
could literally
more
walk
creative
from
by
one
pixel
side of
shaders in
Cyrodiil to
some
the
way.
other.
Yeah.
Normal maps, parallax maps, gloss maps everywhere on every object in the game, so that we can portray realistic lighting, realistic shadows as well, soft shadows on everything. So it's a very beautiful game. Our main goal was to go for photorealism this time around. We wanted you to feel like you're in Lord of the Rings in a true fantasy setting with lush forests and shining swords.
Yo, the trolls.
We have over 9,000
I hated those trolls, they're annoying.
They're pretty annoying. I'd also argue they're probably one of the scariest things in the game if you get like spooked by anything in the game.
Also, redoing the AI
Yeah.
as well. So we created an AI
They do look
system
pretty
rated
creepy.
AI. It allows us to give
Especially when they come out of nowhere from like the caves.
We have over 1,000
Yeah,
NPCs.
because I remember them moving pretty fast.
They
and like
do.
I'm pretty sure they are at least slightly resistant to magic, so like when I first played the game and I was on a magic build, I was kind of struggling with them in the early game.
Their own specific follow behavior. We just tell them you're going to sleep during this time, you'll eat during this time, and they determine how they do it. If they're hungry, they'll see if they have anything in their inventory. They'll maybe go out and buy it. If they have low...
Yeah, I don't believe this is how it works.
If they're untrustworthy, they'll go out and possibly steal it. Or they'll go out and they'll kill it. You know,
Yeah,
they may
not
find deer in the
not
woods, they'll kill the deer
entirely.
And they'll eat it. Sleeping is the same way. They'll look for a bedroll, they'll look for a bed, they'll take their clothes off, they'll go to sleep. When they wake up in the morning, they'll put their armor back on. That's actually a nice
I always found it
transition
really
to
funny
vampires, which
because
come
like
back.
there's a decent amount of houses in the game where they have multiple NPCs in an area, like the guilds, but they only have like 1 or 2 beds. So if you go into the guilds at like nighttime, you'll see 1 or 2 people sleeping, and then everyone else kind of just paces around the house through the entire night.
That is kind of funny. I don't recall that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But I guess I never really hung around the guilds that much. After I was done with them anyway.
It's a good time to break in.
Yeah, I don't know if I hung around them necessarily. I know at least on a couple of my playthroughs when I was playing a thief, I would go to the Mages Guild to steal the Olympics because they were a decent amount of money. So like maybe I just saw that because I was there at nighttime, not too sure. Or like there's houses I try to break into and it's like, oh, but there's one NPC that's just perpetually awake.
I mean, that could be it, yeah.
They give you that visceral feeling of knocking guys around, swinging your sword around, using the force feedback on the controller to really, you know, really give you that feeling of being in combat, of melee combat, something that's not really been quite done before.
Also, I like for this part they just give you the Blades armor set.
Yeah.
Our main idea is always to reinvent the game, to go back to the core concepts that make an Elder Scrolls game exciting. It's the freeform exploration, just the ridiculous amount of detail in the world and environments, all the stuff that you can pick up and move and manipulate, and the exploration as well. So you're going to find all that in Oblivion. It's all there for you to explore, but we also wanted you to get to the fun faster as well. So we implemented
Yeah, give me that fun.
travel where you don't always have to constantly travel back and forth between different locations in the world.
That's true. I guess quick travel would have been pretty revolutionary at this time. It would have been one of the first games to do it, I believe.
That could be true.
Realized that it's really easy to get lost in a
Or at least it
forest.
wouldn't have been a common thing.
So we implemented map
It was
art
definitely
that
not
shows you
common.
a compass in the corner to let you know.
At least I can't think of any games around this time period that had quick travel, especially at the scale Oblivion was, because it's a huge game.
So for the fans of the series, however, you know, you can completely ignore these implementations that we've done to the interface to make the game a little easier for casual gamers. You can go wherever you want, do whatever you want. The depth of the game is still there with alchemy, spell making, enchanting. All the magic systems are back. All the skills are back, the classes. You know, we definitely wanted to have the depth there for our hardcore fans. However, we tweaked the interface, we've tweaked the quest a bit so they're more character driven, more story driven. Again, for the casual audience who just want to get in, they want to have some fun, they want to, you know, hear a good story, experience a good story, and then move on. They're not there to live another life necessarily. So the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion will be available this Christmas.
Well, Jack X is
Woo-woo.
the latest edition of the Jack and Daxter
Jack
franchise,
X.
which has sold over 7.5 million units
Yeah,
worldwide.
Jack X was
And,
interesting.
this time,
Yeah, it's
an
like the racing
online
game or something,
racing
right?
game, combat racing.
Yeah.
There's,
It's a
racing
pretty
elements as
decent
well,
racing
and
game from
head-to-head
what I
arena
understand. It's
combat,
just
so really
a
cool.
very
We're
weird
on
Jack
6
game.
players online at a time.
Yeah, I
You
could
get
see that.
Split screen multiplayer. You can play 2 players split screen at home, online with your friends. We also have compatibility with Daxter PSP this time. Well, you link them together with the
Huh.
USB.
Oh, I didn't realize it had
and,
compatibility
you
with
unlock
Daxter. That's
some
interesting.
features
That
in the
is
game.
interesting.
So you unlock some the Daxter PSP stuff in Jack X. You get new racers, you get new cars, so you can get some special items that you couldn't get in Jack X alone.
That's cool.
That is kind of cool, yeah. Yo, Matrix.
If you get this one, then you get them all in one. Because this covers
I was gonna say, is this Path of Neo?
Matrix, Reloaded, Revolution,
Yeah.
and more.
Which, like I said, I did actually enjoy. If it's the one that I'm thinking of.
The whole strike and blocking thing. So we don't have a block button in Matrix and Path of Neo. We have a strike button, and like martial arts, your strikes are your blocks. And one thing that we really want to get in this game that's really prominent in the movies is when they're going back and forth with the Wing Chun and stuff like that. So in this game, let's say take an early level, like a training mission. You start out with a 3-hit combo. 1, 2, 3. This guy comes at you with a 2-hit combo. If you stand there and he goes 1, 2, you take it. Boom, boom. You go up to him. 1, 2, 3, he's gonna throw a 2-hit block because he has a 2-hit combo in his system. So he goes block, block, but then he's out of combos. Your third one, if you follow through, is gonna hit him.
Okay.
I mean, that is cool.
Prince has returned to the city of Babylon.
Yo, Prince of Persia 3.
And he returns.
Wow. All right.
Attacking the city, and he realizes
Didn't we just see the first one? Like, when did we see the first one? Was it really that long ago?
I thought it was last year.
It felt like last year.
Where did 2 go in all of this?
That changes people and infects them and makes them evil.
Unless it's like a case that like 1 released basically around the time of E3 last year, and 2 released before E3 this year. So maybe they're promoting the 3rd one for next year? I don't know.
It's possible.
That's weird.
Adventurer and
King Kong.
Maybe we did see the one last year, because Prince of Persia was 2003, 2 was 2004, and Two Thrones is 2005. So yeah, maybe you're right. Either we saw it and we just it didn't register for us, or maybe it was in that awkward period where it just wasn't shown at E3.
Yeah, I think that's likely.
I don't know. Anybody watching this like kind of back to back may be like, oh well, how could you not remember? You pointed it out. We may have, but we also may have forgotten.
How long has it been in development?
We've been working.
Yeah, we kind of do these staggered sometimes.
Sometimes.
Shipping in the fall, and you know
Because yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure anybody watching these would know, like, man, this video is like 2 hours long, and they did like 2 more in the same day. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes they get staggered a little bit.
Money for the family. You're gonna gain territory for the family.
We try to avoid it at least at the conferences, because then at least we can try and keep them together.
Yeah.
We have a very innovative control system called the Black Hand control system, and there's 3 dimensions to it. The first dimension is a context-sensitive analog fighting system, so very much like a boxing or a wrestling game. The second dimension is the pressure point targeting system, so you've got various pressure points on the body to shoot at the shoulders, to shoot at the arms, to shoot at the knees. You want to be as violent as you need to be in any given situation without being any more violent than you had to be. When you do that, that's when you're going to maximize the respect that you get in any situation. And then the third dimension is kind of a face-to-face system where you have the opportunity to extort, negotiate, and do those things that mobsters do.
Well, I'm Tony Hawk. I'm here at E3.
Yo, Tony Hawk.
5, and we are unveiling. Well, we're doing a pre-show of the
American Wasteland. I think American Wasteland was considered not the greatest Tony Hawk. I think.
For us, it was a challenge.
Okay.
It's all one.
I think
so you know you can skate from.
Generally, people just wanted another like Tony Hawk Pro Skate, not like people want like another Tony Hawk's Underground. And this is kind of like Underground, but not quite.
And we're on Xbox Live finally, and this story is much more based in authentic skating in terms of there's like some superstars of the '70s, and there's all kinds of new skating in it.
I like how you mentioned authentic skating, right? As a dude did like a jump over a subway, like train, while doing multiple flips.
I don't want to say
very authentic,
but you know, you're taken through this journey, and you have to meet the challenges to get to the next sections. And there's sort of I can't give too much away, but basically there's a sort of Valhalla that you're trying to create or uncover. You got the new layback and bursts, you know, where you put your hand down, you can combo in and out of those, and so I think that was one of the
That's interesting.
That is kind of neat.
Was, you know, this whole 70s sort of surfy style.
Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1 is a
Big Red 1. I do have Big Red 1 now. Well, I've had it for a while, I guess, but
PS2, Xbox, and Nintendo GameCube. For the first time in any Call of Duty game, we're going to be following the same player character and his squad all the way through from beginning to end.
I don't really remember much about this game, though.
Comes from the US 1st Infantry Division.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played this Call of Duty.
They got there first.
But I haven't
It
played
wasn't a
most of them,
pleasant
to be
job.
fair.
Somebody's got to do it, and they go through great historic battles through North Africa, Italy, all of Western Europe.
If you're familiar with Quake 2, it's a continuation of the Quake 2 storyline, except for, you know, way over the top with graphics. We're using an augmented version of the Doom 3 engine, and even in the middle of the game, you actually turn part into one of the aliens. But that, you know, that's the key to actually bringing them down, because now you have the insight into their network, and you can take them down from the inside.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
What we got here is Ultimate Spider-Man. This is based on the Marvel comic book of the same title. This is an updating of Spider-Man for, you know, the 21st century. What we got here is a Spider-Man that's still in high school. He's got all the same problems you had in high school. You play about half the game as Spider-Man and about half the game as Venom. So you're playing as the bad guy for a change.
Woo, playing as the bad guy.
It's fun.
So we're here to talk about Mark Echo's Getting Up, which is a game, I take it, unlike any other that's ever been released. Why is that?
That would be safe to say, mainly because you play as a graffiti artist. You start off as a toy, which is the lowest level of graffiti artist, and you basically start off the game by beefing with a rival crew, and then eventually you
Maybe I should get this game sometime.
Government conspiracy, and you end up, your art becomes.
I mean, yeah, I think it'd be interesting.
You end up sort of bringing down the corrupt government of New Radius by the end.
How much of Mark Echo's personal life, since he's, you know, tagged onto the game here, no pun intended, is represented in the game itself?
Mark, you know, certainly Mark is the creative director for this game. This was his idea almost 7 years ago. Mark was a graffiti artist, but I would say that's probably where the real life similarities end.
I mean,
You know,
fair.
Mark's real goal with this, obviously, he's been very involved in graffiti culture for a long time, and one of his real goals with this game is to teach people about the history of graffiti culture and the tools that graffiti artists use to get their message out.
We had this idea. Capcom approached us, said we want to make a game about Nightmare. We said we can't do it without Tim. So we got Tim in, we gave him some storylines, and we said, hey, we got an idea for a sequel to the movie. So this actually takes place a year after the end of the film.
That's it. No more Mr. Nice Bones.
The exciting element is really just this world that Tim Burton created. You're playing as Jack. You're talking with all the characters. There's like 40 characters in the film, good guys and bad guys they have in this game. And you're going to places you saw in the movie that you wanted to go into.
I do kind of want to play this game at some point.
It's playing a different story. You go other places.
Yeah, I think it would be a very interesting game.
Brand new character Revolution Party. This is the brand new sing and dance mode where you sing and dance at the same time. You're judged both on your singing and your dancing. This is going to be on Xbox, GameCube, and PS2 this coming Christmas. You can sing and dance as one person, or you can have two people, one person singing or one person dancing. We will have 50 songs on the game this year, more than we've ever had before.
Konami's booth is definitely hopping. Right now we have entered Club Revolution.
Beatmania started out as an arcade game.
Oh, I forgot about
It's an
Beatmania.
interactive DJ simulation game. So you're actually dropping the beats,
Ultra
spinning the
Mix
tracks,
3.
and putting the whole song together all in real time. You've got a turntable that you can scratch up and down, and then here you've got what looks like
That's
a
pretty cool.
keyboard. Notes come
Yeah.
down on the screen. You got to hit the corresponding key here or scratch. Wiki, wiki, wiki. Konami is definitely
wiki,
the
wiki,
pioneer
wiki.
and the leader in music games.
My name is Jim Brown. I'm lead level designer with Epic Games. Here today talking about Unreal Tournament 2007. UT 2007, we're really leveraging everything we've learned in the past about the Unreal Tournament franchise. Really gone back to the community, got a lot of support there, taken a lot of their suggestions to heart. We're on Unreal Engine 3, which supports a complete brand new next-gen engine that has soft shadows, self-shadowing characters and weapons, a brand new particle system and physics system that we can just do incredible things that we've never been able to do before. And of course, better tools than we've ever had before for development that's going to make tools for mod users even better. We have the classic game types, Deathmatch, CTF, Onslaught returning. We're also introducing a new game type that we're tentatively calling Conquest.
Did
mode,
UT7
which is
do good?
essentially
Well, 7, I guess.
large-scale battle.
I want to say probably not, because I think this is kind of when Unreal Tournament started to die down.
Capability, so that you can have one battle.
But I never played it, so I don't know
actually
for sure.
streams in real time to another level, and the battle can kind of wage back and forth. So you have these very large-scale, huge, drawn-out battles, and It's going to include some new items. We have an entirely new class
tank.
of vehicles.
Yo, it's Scorpion from Halo. Nice.
Axon vehicles that you saw in
that's cool.
2004.
Yeah, at least it looks a lot like the Scorpion from Halo.
They're all Necros vehicles that are going to be a little bit new.
I understand they're trying to copy it a little bit.
Different from the standard tank.
I mean, they might be.
Sci-fi type items that we have from UT 2004. All the classic weapons are returning. We're doing a new twist on a few of them, and there will be some new weapons included along with that. In addition, with the new vehicles, each of the new vehicles will have new weapons that can do new and exciting things that we're not quite ready to talk about yet. Aside to say that it will be very good. We're very much enhancing the single-player experience. Research that we've done so far has shown that actually less than 25% of the people who purchase the game play online. So we're really focusing on making the single-player experience very, very in-depth and very rewarding. We know that the
I mean, if it didn't do well, that might be why. They may have,
very much
but if their data's correct, though, then I guess it wouldn't really matter.
We're really working on improving AI to include banter that goes back and forth between the bots. They can give very specific location. They can give you their status updates. One of them can say, I am at the Victory Square. I need air support. Call in Raptors will come in and do an air assault attack. One of the bots can tell you, I have the Redeemer. You can tell him through voice over IP, through voice commands. You can tell the bots, take the Redeemer, shoot the sniper that's in the tower. He'll understand what you're saying and do it exactly as that. The bots will also have individual personalities that we're really going to focus on and develop so that when they banter back and forth,
that's kind of cool.
Who each person is and how they're reacting and why they're doing the things that they're
That
doing.
is always kind of
My name
nice.
is Rasmus, and
Yo, Hitman
I'm the
Blood
game
Money.
director of Hitman Blood Money, the new version of Hitman that has actually been underway for quite some time because we started the design of it before we actually started doing contracts and did the whole pre-design there. And it's a Hitman game with the very big multi-layered epic story introduced again. Basically the whole game is new, both from the graphics. The graphics is a brand new render engine that
That's not gonna get him Silent Assassin.
Totally customized to each platform, which means that we didn't develop a game for high-end PC and just ported it to PS2 and not vice versa either. We actually built everything so that it fitted the exact platform. So the description of the storyline is that ICA, which is the contract agency that Hitman works for, and another big, very important agency are sort of competing, competing against being the best at this cloning thing. Hitman being the only perfect clone and very, very good at what he does, of course, makes him very interesting, and he gets caught.
I don't feel like that. I don't feel like that. Because did you hear what he called him?
Competing against being the best at this cloning thing. Hitman being the only perfect clone.
Hitman being the only perfect clone. His name's Agent 47. IDOS guy. You should know that. He literally has a name. He's not Hitman. He's Agent 47.
Okay, that's really funny.
Very interesting, and he gets caught up in the middle of this whole rivalizing.
That's like calling Samus Metroid.
Being left alone at
True.
some point in the game, and that's sort of lineup of the plot. In terms of technicalities, everything is new. Like we have new camera controls, which is independent now and not the stick cam that we had before. We have AI that is totally rewritten, which means that NPCs react to stuff that you drop. They react to dead bodies, move them from the scene, bring items to their quarters, so you have to bring it back if you just drop it. But most importantly, actually, I think the biggest new feature is all the stuff that goes on around the game. The name is Blood Money, and that of course means that there is lots of money involved. You make money on each mission, and that money you can choose to spend on various things. One thing which is probably going to appeal to gadget people is that the 5 key weapons that Hitman has, there is 60 weapons at all, but the 5 key weapons can be upgraded to sort of suit the way you play the game, which means if you have the very stealthy way of playing it, well, you upgrade maybe your sniper rifle. If you like going Rambo, or at least...
So I'm not gonna lie, I don't quite remember enough about Blood Money. I haven't played it in years
Shotgun, for example.
to
These weapons are going to have between 10 and 20 upgrades.
remember really any about what he's talking about here.
Weapons work. Another thing you can
Yeah,
spend money
I
on
mean,
is
that's fair.
actual intel. We are aware that before
I really should play more of the Hitman games.
You should, they're fun.
because it was kind of challenging.
I've heard they're really fun.
World just
I like to describe Hitman as
patch things together. So now you're able to
kind of like a stealth slash shooter with that's like
about the interesting
Kind of a
stuff.
disguise
So
for a
if you wanna
puzzle
say,
game.
rig an accident,
Right.
You know, you want to drop this
Yeah,
chandelier
that's
on
kind of
someone
what I've
because it's
heard.
cool to do.
Because I kind of see Hitman as more of like a puzzle game. If you want to play it quote unquote properly, right? Where you try to get it all done without like being noticed, then you got to figure out a lot of stuff. But it's like, okay, how do I get the target? What's the best way to get him? What's the routine that I need to get him on?
When you leave behind evidence, if you're seen by security
Yeah,
cameras,
no,
And
that
then-
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and then if you just want to have like mindless fun, just go in there with a bunch of guns and kill everybody, right? Like it's a really interesting way how you can play the game multiple times like that.
Next time the next level you're gonna play, people are just gonna run away screaming from you. And the way to remedy this, of course, is to bribe off people. And in the extreme consequence, it's to buy a new identity. So even though we did a lot of effort to make the game fun when you go go shooting and play it as a shooter, the backside of doing that is that all the money you're gonna make, you will almost be forced to spend on fixing all the trails that you leave behind. And this whole thing is going to be visualized for the player with a newspaper article that describes the whole scenario. Like, say you do it stealthy, it could be.
I mean, that is
accident
true.
Kills, I don't know, Sheik, and we have no clue why or whatever. From that to Psycho Killer goes rampaging through Casino, for example.
We have some really major enhancements to the game. The first one is that you can fly in space. You got space combat in
I see Empire at War in the back.
really massive,
That's pretty cool. That's a
immersive
fun
space
game.
battles. You can dogfight
I don't know which one this is.
capital ships. You can actually fly a
The Battlefront
TIE
2?
fighter into a rebel frigate
Oh, this is
planet,
Battlefront 2.
get
You're
out
right.
and start shooting rebels.
Yeah.
That TIE fighter pilot can jump into an X-wing.
Yeah, I remember liking these maps a lot.
And so now he's flying around an X-wing.
Space combat's
blowing
really
away
fun.
rebel ships with their own ship. The other major thing that we're adding is Jedi. This was not available in the first game, but now in Star Wars Battlefront 2, you've got Jedi characters, and they're fully integrated into single player and multiplayer as well. So Jedi are a major faction. We've got a lot of hero characters. We're not announcing all of them just yet, but we are showing Obi-Wan here at the show. This is our Obi-Wan Kenobi model. It's based on Ewan McGregor's performance. He's the young Obi-Wan. General Grievous is also in Episode 3. Darth Vader, of course. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely using hero characters that people are going to be very familiar with.
I think is that Mace
Yeah.
Windu? It looked like Mace Windu.
I think so.
An FBI detective.
Yo, condemned.
Essentially framed for a crime that you didn't commit by a serial killer. So
You hate it when that happens.
yeah, it's a rough gig. It happened to me like 3 times last year.
Just today, twice.
Yeah, the paperwork is immense.
So when can we expect Condemned?
I do like Condemned. I really want to get you to play Condemned sometime.
Going to launch the console, but we will be available
Yeah,
on
I'd like
Xbox
to if you
360
want me
launch
to.
window.
So my name is Chris Evenden, I'm Director of PR at ATI. One of the things we want to talk about at the show today is Xbox 360. You may or may not know that ATI co-designed the graphics processor for 360, and it's something we're immensely proud of. It contains a number of innovations that you're not going to see this year on PC. You'll see 1 or 2 of them maybe next year. Some of them you'll never see on PC graphics at all. It's an incredibly powerful and versatile graphics processor. But we've got it here running live content, and I can talk you through the live content. This is not a tape loop. This is something that's being rendered live. It's actually a demo for our next generation PC content that we decided at the last minute we'd try and port across to Xbox, and we used their XNA tools to port it across. We got it across in less than a week, which really speaks to the programmability of the Xbox as well. And you got it here running. It's not even fully flexing anything like the full capabilities of the graphics processor inside. So you see here something looking absolutely amazing.
I could be like, oh, Sony had their thing. Well, you know, we have this our own thing that we do. We don't have a running robot.
The 3 things I think that we're
We got like a woman with a samurai sword.
Firstly, we have this thing called an adaptive shader array. And this
Yeah.
is a unified shader architecture. Again, this is something you'll see comes to PCs probably at the end of next year, and you're going to get it this year on the 360. And incredibly flexible, very versatile, very powerful. The developer doesn't have to worry about whether there's a lot of geometry going on in the scene or whether there's a lot of special effects. It balances it all on the fly. Very, very powerful. 48 shader engines, 240 shader operations per clock. Very powerful. Second thing we've got in there is a modeling engine. This is really a tool for tomorrow. This has a lot of incredible features that game developers aren't even using yet. It's something that you'll see discussed in papers at conferences like SIGGRAPH. Global illumination, for example, is one technique that the industry agrees is the way forward for lighting scenes. We can do it on this. We can do it on this chip this year. No other console can give you that. The final feature that we're immensely proud of is we've got this intelligent memory actually embedded in the graphics processor.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like the actual video is, in my opinion, a bit more interesting than one PlayStation had as well. Funnily enough.
Yeah.
to do things like anti-aliasing, essentially for free. There's no performance hit for 4XAA.
Farewell.
Absolutely essential for high-definition gaming, where you can see every pixel on the screen. You could get away with it before on standard definition TVs.
I mean, if this is a game, I'd play it.
It also allows you to do very, very fast stencil calculations, which are immensely important for shadows, dynamic shadows and everything. And it also allows you to do blending for special effects, explosions, that sort of thing. So overall, you've got an incredibly powerful engine that gives you fluid reality, like natural motion, great special effects. Years ahead of anything you'll see anywhere else. It's like next year, and you're getting it this year.
I'm Itagaki of Team Ninja.
Ooh, Team Ninja.
Well, this year at E3, Xenon, well, it's not Xenon anymore, it's Xbox 360. The DOA4, has been the big talk of town, and people are excited about it, and I'm excited about it. Well,
See, I wish I could be like, yo, I'm excited about DOA4. I don't know. see, I'm not a fighting game player. I don't know. See, so it's hard for me to really go like, whoa, DOA4. This is why Todd should be here. Todd should be a part of this. For whenever like fighting games come up.
Yeah, that'd be kind of funny just to pull them in just for these sections.
Downwards. Such things, were made possible. It just, excites me to know that now I can do all these things.
This isn't just a head-to-head fighter anymore. We've taken Mortal Kombat, we put it into the action-adventure world. So now you don't just have your one-on-one fight, you can fight multiple lanes at one time.
Yeah, Shaolin Monk. The experiment. I don't know if it was good. I mean, they never did another one, so I just don't think they did.
I mean, probably didn't do super well. Nintendo.
Animal Crossing DS, Mario Kart DS, Metroid Prime Hunters. Lots of good stuff for people to see this year.
Let's talk about the wireless experience.
Right, yes, the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection is our brand new online network. It's going to be easy for people to use, and the first two games that we're going to use it are Animal Crossing DS and Mario Kart DS.
What are some of the cool features that Mario Kart can do on the DS that can't do anywhere else?
The best way to describe it is it's a Mario Kart fan's dream game. I mean, it basically takes tracks from dating all the way back to the Super NES game and adds on top of that brand new tracks. The DS version has online multiplayer capability with using our new network, the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. It's also got a touchscreen capability where you can change between the map and the current standing. Oh, the only way to describe Nintendo is it's a puppy inside your DS.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad that I never had the Nintendogs experience.
It's really quite amazing.
Yeah,
I feel like I kind of missed out on like the thing. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because when it comes to Nintendogs, I think it was really revolutionary for the time and really interesting for the time. If they released it nowadays, people wouldn't care.
I mean, probably not.
Because, I mean, I didn't play a ton of the original, I did play some of the 3DS version, and, like, it was okay. I got bored of it pretty quickly, though.
Link riding on a horse and cutting down enemies. It's really pretty incredible. The all-new graphical look to this game is really a departure from the Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. It's a realistic graphic style. It's a more mature Link. It's got an edgier look to it, and I think fans are really gonna think it's pretty amazing.
At our presentation this year, I think we were able to show a lot of content, so that was good. Right now in Japan, we're engaged in a lot of DS challenges, trying to do a lot of new things with that, and I think we're able to show you the results of what we've been doing with the DS. The Mario Brothers, which allows you to get two people side-scrolling, but they're actually side-scrolling at the same time on different systems. Animal Crossing on the DS, you have the wireless functionality there, of having 4 people playing at the same time there. Mario Kart, of course, you got 8 people racing at the same time. So these are all games that are really utilizing good DS functionality. And there's one other game that I'd like to talk about there. Something that we think appeals to players of all ages, something you can pick up right away, it's easy to get into. It might not qualify as a game per se. And one of those titles that fits that criterion is what we showed you yesterday, and that's Nintendogs.
Because yeah, Nintendogs is just about like taking care of the dog, right?
Yeah, you take care of the dog, you can train it, put it in like different shows, you can play with it, feed it, wash it. I think you can eventually get multiple dogs.
Brain teaser, brain exercise software. We use the,
Oh, brain training?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it is.
That one was actually pretty successful. I never played it like when it came out, but I know there was a lot of people who would log in and do like their daily puzzles and whatnot on it. Like it was pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty alright. I did play that one actually. Yeah, I remember having fun with it. Like I said, not really a game, but still enjoyable for what it was.
Yeah.
As far as the Revolution is concerned, obviously it's under development. It's going really well, and we want to give out some of the general concepts. We're going to save everything else for when we're all set, and next year, when it's the year of the Revolution rather than this year, that's when we'll bring out everything from under the wrapping paper. I didn't get a chance to see the Sony and Microsoft presentations myself, but from what I've heard from people, I mean, it sounds like obviously they're going to be using cutting-edge technology, as are we. However, the way that they are planning on implementing that technology is obviously very different from the route that we're going to be. For myself, as on the business end of things, I see where they're going and I see where we're going, and I'm not worried at all. I think it's not going to influence us at all. We're good to go. And the way we're approaching the development of the Revolution is we pose the question to ourselves: why is a home console necessary? What functions in a home console would make everyone in the family say, yeah, we need that, yeah, we want that? We pose that question, and the answers to that question, as we've as we have answered them, are what's driving our development.
It's kind of interesting. I like the idea that they sat around and they're like, okay, now what is the purpose of the home console? Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of smart when they put it like that.
Back in Kyoto. And we are definitely going to have a new Mario for Nintendo Revolution. Whether or not that's 128 or not, I can't really say. It might be a new Sunshine. We're not sure. We're doing a lot of Mario tests right now for the Revolution. In regards to the power of the Nintendo Revolution versus, say, the Xbox 360, we're looking at making a small, quiet, affordable console. We look at trying to incorporate all of that. Of course, we might not have the horsepower that maybe some other companies have. But if you look at the numbers that they're throwing out, are those numbers going to be used in the game? Are they actually using those? I mean, those are just numbers that somebody crunched up on a calculator. And we could throw out a bunch of numbers too, but what we're going to do is we're going to wait till our chips are done, everything's in the game. We're going to find out how it's running, what its peak performance is, and those are the numbers that we're going to use, because those are the only numbers that really count. I do think it's very irresponsible for people to say, this is what we're running at, this is the power of our machine, when they're not even running on final boards. So I think the professional's job is to not believe those numbers. I don't think we're going to alienate gamers at all. I think if you look at the stuff that we have on the Nintendo DS, which is different from anything else out there, people are playing that and really enjoying that. There's going to be.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I'm assuming the interviewer asked, like, are you afraid you'll alienate gamers? I don't even know how you do that. Like, I don't know why you'd even ask that. Just because like the DS has some like casual games on it, I guess.
Waiting to be surprised.
I mean, I guess, because before this, gaming was for quote-unquote hardcore gamers, so maybe they thought that they would push people away, but I don't know, that's a pretty dumb way to look at it, in my opinion.
That is.
I'm excited about looking at what Nintendo's doing with the DS, games for the DS, and there's just so much new coming this year, and I think a lot of the games coming out in the fall are just very exciting, like Animal Crossing DS.
Excited to see Perfect Dark Zero, Killzone.
It's an original Nintendo with Mega Man, Kid Icarus, Donkey Kong, Princess.
Absolutely everything.
I'm excited to see the new Xbox 360, see the sweet new games they got up for that.
King Hippo from Mike
Nice.
Punch Out.
Age of Empires 2.
I'm excited to see anything.
It's a good one.
PS3.
Still have a lot of work to do on it, but
Yeah, well, you got a lot of leg left, so you'll be back there, man.
I'm trying to get fatter so I can put more on there. So.
About the 360.
anything related
I
to
guess that's
PS3,
true.
Unreal
You'd have
Engine
more skin.
3,
True.
Xbox 360.
The Zelda game. I'm a Nintendo fangirl, so I'm very excited about the Nintendo game. Got to see some of the Zelda game yesterday, and oh, it's beautiful.
I'm very excited to see the new Xbox.
PS3.
EverQuest 2. Also very excited about the Xbox, the next Xbox 360. Naturally,
I'm excited about all of it.
Awesome. Good answer.
Very good answer. Yeah, I just want to point out, it's like right at the end there. I assume it's on the dude's like video.
beautiful.
I'm
Where
very excited to see the new.
The Xbox.
yeah, BC. I remember BC. I remember wanting to play that one. It didn't happen. 'Cause it was about like, I don't know, you being it was something to do with like leading a tribe of cavemen and then like having them like learn things as you like do stuff with them. I don't quite remember. It seemed very ambitious. Didn't end up happening. Always made me kind of sad. Funnily enough, it had a GameFAQs board, which I assume is now mostly dead, or people probably use it to post other things now. Someone may have quote unquote taken it over as their own like personal board, as people tend to do with canceled games on GameFAQs.
Did they just not lock them?
No, they don't lock them. If they make typically, unless it changed, if a game would come out and the board for that, or like if a game didn't come out and the board for that game was made, and no one was posting about the game, because who would for a game that's canceled? Some people could just like take the board and essentially like claim it just because it's, or they could say like, oh, this is like a hidden board. Like there's actually a good example. I don't remember which game it was now, of a game which either didn't come out or just kind of people lost interest for, maybe like an older game or something.
Okay.
And it became a board for people to like talk about their problems or something like that. Apparently it's a very wholesome board. But it's considered like a secret board because unless you know the name of the game, you're not going to be able to find it, right?
That's fair.
Or unless you stumble across it randomly. GameFAQs is weird like that.
I mean, that does sound pretty weird, yeah.
Where people can just like claim boards as like their own technically. Like they don't officially own it, but you know.
Well, yeah.
If it's a game no one's talking about, like if it's a canceled game or a game no one's talking about, yeah, why not? Take it over and just kind of do what you want with it. Kind of like Reddit before Reddit, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of interesting things at that show floor. A lot of interesting interviews. And you got to see some pretty interesting things. It was nice to see some Oblivion. It was nice to hear him talk about Hitman and call the guy Hitman, even though his name's Agent 47. Hear Miyamoto's take on the DS. Yeah, overall, a pretty decent show floor. Admittedly, I do kind of miss the whole, you know, VHS aspect of it. But, you know, that's just me. It's a personal thing. We're past that now. Now we're onto the interview era of E3. So we're still probably going to keep doing these show floors. But, you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how, as long as the show floors remain even somewhat interesting, at least show some of the show floor.
Yeah.
So I do believe we will give this one a shot. Once again, it's more of like an interviewy thing. But it looks like they talk about like maybe different things. We'll probably 2x speed through that one a little bit more. Maybe. We'll see, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But leave this as its own thing for now because this has gone on long enough. So, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We hope you all enjoyed. Unless Megan has something else you want to say about this. I'm sorry, I didn't even ask.
No, it's okay. I'm good.
But for now, it's time we cue the outro. So frag out, and we shall catch you guys later.
Bye.